Howdy Bestie, long time no see, back again with me, Dini, on the CreativeDisc exclusive interview. And today I'm excited to talk about, a beloved musician, activist, and also a frontman of Michael Franti and Spearhead, known for spreading messages of peace, love, and unity through his soulful blend of reggae, hip hop, and folk. So please, without any further ado, give a warm welcome to Michael Franti. Halo.
Hey,
Apa kabar Michael Franti?
baik-baik. Apa kabar, Dini?
Aku juga baik. Terima kasih. Aduh sampai grogi. Okay, so how are you doing today? And where are in the world you joining us? Are you in Bali right now?
No, at the moment I'm in um, Atlanta in America,
Okay.
Atlanta, Georgia. We started our tour of the States 3 days ago, and
Mm.
I flew from Bali to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we started here. I've been living in Bali full time now for 5 years, but I first
Oh.
came to Bali in 2007. And when I got there, I was so inspired
Hmm.
by the creativity and the spirituality of the people. Everywhere you go in Bali, there's a different art. You go to one village and it's batik. The next village is carving. The
Hmm.
next village is wood carving or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
furniture, or painting or anything. And so as an artist, I would just get on a scooter and I would just go village to village and sit with carvers and painters and just watch what they did. And I found it so inspiring. And then I was introduced to this philosophy there, which is Trihita Karana,
Mm.
the three ways to happiness of
Oh, okay.
Balinese culture of human to human and human to God and human to nature.
Teacher.
And
Okay.
that when those three things happen, that's when we
Mm-hmm.
feel happiness.
Yeah.
And it's very different than America, which is like the philosophy is like the more you buy, the happier you become. And and then that's not true. It doesn't really work that way. It makes you sometimes less happy, and less feel
Oh.
connected. And so I really had my heart opened when I first came to Bali in 2007. I was going through a very stressful time. I
Mm.
recently had a breakup that was hurting my heart, and I felt like this sense of healing and connection. So I said to myself, I want to build a place here that other people can come to and experience that. So I built 5 rooms. We called it Soul Shine. We opened in
Yeah.
2000. And since that time, we've grown to we have 44 rooms, we have 2 restaurants, we have a nightclub, we have a spa, and we have 4 yoga studios. So people come there
Mm.
and all kinds of wellness activities, like yoga, Pilates, uh, rice field walks,
Mm-hmm.
cooking classes, all these kinds of things. And then at night we do music. And so there's DJs, there's live bands. We have a lot of Indonesian bands that come and
Yeah,
play
yeah, yeah.
here. And so it's like this mix of like wellness and fun. And we call it a playground for the soul.
Okay, as Indonesian, I'm so proud of this, and thank you for the appreciation of Bali, especially. And so maybe in the future, if I go to Bali, I could
Yeah.
visit you to your place in
Yeah.
Seoul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come stay with us. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And also, by the way, on the March 28th, you just released your fourth studio album. It's titled Welcome to the Family, and
Hmm.
it's a collection to 13 new songs that embrace themes of inclusivity, self-discovery, and also resilience. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would like to know what makes this album feel the most personal or different compared to your previous
Mm.
works.
I think the thing that is the most different about this record is that there's a lot of really deeply personal songs on it. Um, and it's titled Welcome to the Family. And all of us have like a family that we're born into. And sometimes that we're all raised in that family. But in my case, I was born and then given up for adoption and raised in a different family. And then as we grow, we develop our family outside of our family, which is our friends, our community,
Mm.
our neighbors, our teachers, or whatever, our banjar in Bali,
Mm.
And then we also develop like a musical family, like people that we connect with through music or arts or other ideas in the world. Um, and then all of those things become part of the world family.
Yeah.
And right now, like the world family is hurting. There's a lot of division in the world. There's divide between cultures, religion, sexuality, like
Yeah. Yeah.
so many different things that people are fighting against each other. And I really believe that when we hear the stories of other people, we fall in love with them. And there's no one that you wouldn't love if you heard their story.
Mm.
And so I really believe in the importance of people being able to connect in that way. And that music is one of those ways of doing that. And
Mm.
that's why I wanted to reveal so much of myself personally and what's going on in my life. Um, and also, I have a new baby that's coming. And yeah,
Yeah.
so, so I'm welcoming a new person into my family, literally. And my son who's 6, he speaks Bahasa Indonesia. He also speaks Bahasa Balinese. He loves
Okay. Wow.
his favorite thing is barongs. He loves watching barong videos
Yeah. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
YouTube, and
Mm.
he goes to watch Indonesian movies in the movie theater. He's like a little Balinese kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I see him like that, um, it makes me so happy to see that um, culture is something that can live in people um, despite wherever they come from.
Mm.
That we can have this connection, this
Yeah.
ideas of
Mm.
dance, spirit, food, music,
Mm.
like these things, they can bring people together. And my son is like a living example of that. Um, and it makes me feel proud and also
Yeah.
grateful that Indonesia is a country that has embraced me in that way. Because
Wow.
in my country in America, even there's
Mm.
times when I didn't feel that way. Especially as a Black American, we've not always been accepted as the whole citizens.
Mm.
And so when I'm in Indonesia, I feel that. And the other thing is that I love the diversity of
Mm.
culture, between islands. Like if you go to Flores, it's a completely different
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
You go to Lombok, it's a different music. If you
Yeah.
go to Timor, it's a different music. All the way from to Papua all the way up to the top of Sumatra Aceh, it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I love being able to explore that. I love just that diversity of culture is so interesting to me.
Yeah, yeah. So, have you ever, visited any other cities in Indonesia?
Mm.
Maybe, yeah, Sumatra or Java in Java Island or any
Yeah,
other
I've,
city?
I've been to Aceh. I've been to
Oh, okay.
yeah, I've been to
Wow,
I
that's
a few
incredible.
months ago I went to Jakarta to see Green Day.
Okay. Also, you watched the performance.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to see Green Day there. Yeah. Trey Cool from Green Day is a friend of mine, so I've known him
Okay.
for 30 years. So I went to go see him, and the show was
Ah,
great.
that's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
great
yeah.
for me to see all the Indonesian fans singing all the words to those songs.
Mm.
And um, again, it was just like the power of music to connect people is
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
so important.
We
Yeah.
can, in the middle of the diversity, we can still feel the unity through
Yeah.
the music. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I would, talk about your new single also. The
Sure.
lead single in your album, Break Up With Everything. So it's
Hmm.
currently climbing in the US AAA radio charts,
Yeah.
setting the
Hmm.
tone for an album that channels personal and also global challenges into anthems of hope and change. And
Mhm.
so, would you like to at least maybe a little
Yeah,
give us a share of light? What
I'd be
first
glad to.
inspired you to write the song?
Yeah. So one night, um, Deanie, I woke up
Hmm.
and I was singing this song in my dream. I kept singing, break up with everything that you don't need.
Oh
And a few
wow.
months later, I sat down to write the song with a couple friends of mine. I said, I have this idea
Mm.
for a song. And I was like, what does it mean? I have this idea, but what does it mean? And what I realized is that, sorry, my dream was trying to tell me
Hmm.
that in life, you evolve, you grow, you go through highs and lows. And at certain points in your life, you have to do an edit. You have to edit out the things in your life that don't work anymore because they're getting in the way of the things that you're trying to do. And most of those things are like old stories that you tell
Hmm.
yourself. Sometimes you tell yourself stories about the way you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you tell yourself stories about the way your parents were or the way that the world is. You see things on social media and you compare yourself to other people. And after a while, you've built up all this in your head and you stop being you, right? You
Yeah.
stop being yourself. You don't
Yeah.
show up as who you really are. And so the song Break Up with Everything You Don't Need is about that. And sometimes it's about literally breaking up with a relationship, maybe that's
Mm.
not working for you. But sometimes it's breaking up with those parts of yourself
Yeah.
that are preventing those relationships from really working, you know?
Wow.
That's,
Wow, that's
yeah,
okay. I didn't expect those messages behind your songs. Maybe at the first I thought that, yeah, like you said, it was about breaking up with some kind of relationship that maybe don't relate to us anymore. But
yeah,
to be exact, when I heard your explanations, it's really more deep than that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wow, that's amazing. And for unfortunately, we have a very short time here, and maybe I would like to ask you the last question. You
Sure.
are okay, so I know that you seem that is someone that who's constantly active with a new album, tour, and music crazes, a retreat in Bali, and even a non-profit organization. So
Yeah.
I would like to know maybe what's the best piece of advice someone has ever given you, and how has it shaped your life of your music?
You know, um, the best thing that I wish that I would have known much younger in life is the importance of sharing your feelings with other people.
Okay.
I've gone through so much of my life where I felt like I could fix things, like I could fix everything for me. Like if I was going through a hard time, I could fix it. And then when I wasn't able to fix it, I would withdraw and I would go to a space of depression or anxiety
Hmm.
rather than go and sit and talk with somebody and say, hey man, I'm going through a hard time today. Can you take a moment and just hear me? And I will do the same for you. I'll listen to what you're going through. I wish I would have known that long time, 30 years ago, you know. Um, and that's what if I was telling myself as a young child something today, I would say there's power in that. You don't have to live life alone. You don't have to go through life feeling lonesome. And right now there's a new pandemic in the world,
Yeah.
and that pandemic is loneliness.
Yeah.
People feel lonely. They spend
Yes.
time on social media and you think like I see all these other lives, it's going to make me feel more connected to the world. And we end up feeling more disconnected to the world.
Yes.
So take the time to ask people, how are you doing today? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there something that you'd like to share with me that you've never told anybody before? Like text somebody, right now when you're hearing
Yeah.
this or reading this, like text somebody and say, how are you doing today? And really, what's going on with you? Like that's how we cure this pandemic, this of loneliness.
Wow. All right, Michael Franti, that was inspiring. Okay.
Thank you, Dini.
Okay, it's been fantastic. Thank you for our conversation today. But Sini Besti, before we wrap this interview, don't
Yeah.
forget to follow CreativeDisc on any social media platform so you don't miss out on the latest music news. And also, follow Michael Franti on the
Yeah.
Instagram to stay updated to his latest works and also musical life. Okay, Michael Franti, it's been fantastic
Thank you
one more
so much,
time.
Dini.
Yeah, and
This is
also
amazing.
congratulations. Yeah, and also congratulations for your upcoming junior.
Yes. Yeah.
What a
We have a
beautiful
baby
blessing.
girl. We have a baby girl coming June 6th.
Okay,
So that's the due
wow.
date. And I'll be flying back to Bali
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on
yeah.
the second to make sure that I'm there. And hopefully the baby doesn't come early. So
Okay, I hope everything goes smoothly for you and your family.
thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Terima
Sinibesti.
kasih
Thank you.
banyak.
Terima kasih banyak, Michael Franti. I'm signing off now. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.